everyone, how are you? Welcome back. I am back. This is Meaningful Intuitive Guided Tarot here. I hope all of you are doing well on this Thursday. What brings me back, as you can see by the title, is the fact that I have honored yet another subscriber's request. This request that did come in from subscriber Lakia Cooper. And as you can tell by the title, it will be a celebrity reading as she's a fan of the one and only Miss Janet Jackson. So I have honored her request. And so we are going to now talk about some of the questions, or I'm going to address some of the questions that Lakia has pertaining to Janet Jackson. So before we get into the cards, and before we address the questions, just a little info about Miss Janet Jackson, as she needs no introduction, because in fact she is from one of the most famous families on the planet, with her most popular brother, Michael Jackson. But Janet has been in the entertainment industry for over 50 years. And I think she recently celebrated that mark of 50 years being within the industry, which means that she has been in the industry since she was a young child. She has been very famous, and we know that when she started off in acting, as we know that she was in quite a lot of acting TV shows, one of which, of course, that I think kind of put her and landed her first role on TV was, of course, her playing Penny on the most famous hit show of Good Times. And so for those that is familiar and have watched that show, as I have been a fan of that show and always love to see her acting in that. And as well as she's gotten older, she did spin off and appeared in other films and movies. And then, of course, what really has garnered her accomplishments, her being one of the best pop icons in history, along with her brother as well, not knocking any others, but Janet Jackson is a force within herself, right? So with that being said, as we now move on, she is 56 years old and looking still fabulous. And her zodiac sign, as you always know, I like to mention the zodiac sign of when I do a reading, so you would know when the energies pop up pertaining to them. So Janet is a Taurus, like myself. That makes her an earth sign, all right? So we'll keep that in mind when we see the cards that come up pertaining to her element, which will be Pentacles, right? So Lakia, first question. Lakia had 3 questions for me pertaining to Janet Jackson. And her first question is, will Janet do more documentaries on her life? So, the first card that came out was, the Moon card. So, the Moon card came out, and so to clarify that, I wanted to see exactly what was the overall answer behind that. We got the Fool and the Ace of Swords. So to clarify the Moon, that means more than likely, yes, she will be producing another documentaries pertaining to her life. And speaking of that, because the Fool, by the way, is taking a leap of faith, but it's starting another adventure. It's taking on new projects, taking on whatever it is that may mean for that person. It's something that is new. So I feel that yes, she will in fact produce and come up with another documentary. Now, speaking of which, the Moon here is generally, the Moon is things hidden, things that are not meant to be, per se revealed. But pertaining to this documentary that she will be which I feel that right now is like in production. So to say that this is going to be something that will come out in the next couple of weeks, no. I feel that it's in progress, that they are, working on it as we speak, right? But the moon to me pertaining to Janet is that she will in fact, unlike the opposite of what the moon represents, I feel that this documentary will in fact, she will be truthful. She will reveal the hidden aspects of her life, right? I feel that she's in a place where she has such a fan base. She has fans that love her, that support her, me myself being a fan. And I'm sure many of you that come across this video to see this reading pertaining to her, you are big fans of hers. And Janet, like I said, she is, I think she have received a lot of support from her fans. And I feel that, like I said, because of the support that she has gotten over the years until now, I understand that she did do another documentary about her life sometime last year. And from what I saw, that it received lots of support, very good feedback, and that it was successful and did well. And I think because of that, I was about to say, because of the support and love that she gets from her fans, I feel that there's a place that she can trust to be open. Unlike the moon energy with someone that wants to hide and not reveal things, I feel she's the opposite. I feel that there's a place in her heart that she wants to continue from that last documentary, that she actually wants to continue, and that she trusts the reception that she will get, that she will have the support and understanding as she document certain parts of her life that might be, kind of intimate, but I feel that, again, she don't mind sharing it, all right? So as we move over to the next card that came out, we got Temperance. Now, I must say that there have been a lot of major arcanas that have come out pertaining to this. So what I always say, whenever there's a major arcana or more that comes out, it just really just draws upon the intensity. It just shows the impact and the strong influence behind that energy, behind someone or something. And we're speaking right now about a documentary series, which you can say is something that she is in fact in the middle of doing. And so the Temperance means it's an energy of just holding on. It's taking a moment, right? Being patient. So that's why I said that this documentary that she's going to be now looking to do in the future is something that it's in its development production. So to say, when it will actually start out, I don't know. Like if the date has been set yet, has it been released? Not sure, but it is going through the process of, being produced at this time. Now, as we go down to clarify the Temperance energy, we have here the Two of Cups along with the Sun card. So the Two of Cups, to me, it can mean a few things. Generally, it's a connection, but it also can be like a business connection, a contract. So I feel that, in fact, she may have it just clarifying that she has entered into another connection or contract business-wise pertaining, like it's almost like her collaborating on the business front behind this new developing of this next documentary, right? So again, she had in fact sealed the deal, so it is in production, if that makes sense. And then we have the Sun card here. The Sun is one of the biggest, bright, powerful energies in the tarot deck. Whenever we get the Sun to pop up in any reading, it's success. It means, wonderful results, but it's also positive results. And so I feel that whatever the feedback that she got from her last documentary, it gave her positive feedback, and so it kind of gave her a very good feeling to say, you know what, that went well, so I'm going to kind of continue on and do another one. Since I got very good results, I got my fans, I got, probably she felt that she wasn't sure how it was going to do, but she did get a good reception. And so with the Sun card being here, it just shows that, again, when she comes out with this other documentary, it will be successful. Okay? By the way, I just want to say that, being a fan of hers, which I'm kind of, believe it or not, I did not get to see the documentary that she did last year pertaining to her life. I didn't get to see it. So at some point, I do have to catch up and take a look at it. So I don't know exactly all that was said, because documentaries generally is like a tell-all type of book, right? It kind of just gives you it documents certain parts of one's life, right? Whatever that may be. If she's on tour, which I think she is on tour, And so with that being said, the documentary that she's going to do now, or in process of doing, it's going to like continue on, kind of revealing, discussing certain things about her life, about maybe some of her family life or what have you. You know, it would be a continuation. Now, the next card that came out was the Major Arcana of the Devil. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. And for a moment, I kind of like, okay, why did this come out? Now, generally, most people do. They react like when this come out on the reading, the devil is something like, ooh. But no, there can always be, you know, another perspective or a spin on this energy. But the devil here is just, to me, when it represents her documentary, this is just basically like the things that she faces, because this could also represent challenges. We all have challenges, right? And sometimes with challenges, you know, depending on what it is, it can kind of, you know, take on, you know, like negative type of energy. But I feel that, again, in speaking about her being honest, I think that she will be open to discuss certain maybe challenges, temptations that maybe she might have to deal with when it comes to her overall span of life and her career and what she dealt with. Now, again, I don't know what she mentioned with her last documentary, but I just picking up and feeling that she will continue to share with her fans her challenges. And that's how I'm looking at the devil right now. It's just speaking about the challenges that she will be discussing with the new documentary. Now, to clarify that, we have here the King of Swords along with the Ace of Wands. So the King of Swords, swords represents communication, right? So sometimes communication for the King of Swords can be very brashful. It can be very bold, but it's making your point across. But I won't say that this is her energy of being bold. It's just that I feel that because Janet, to me, her overall personality is very sweet. She is such like a very humble soul, and I just feel that not at all where her documentary be like so bold and brash. It's just that she will be ready to be openly honest in what she communicates in that documentary. That's what I feel. And then we have here the Ace of Wands. So the Ace represents a new beginning of a passion. And I feel that perhaps she's feeling good. She's passionate about sharing a part of her life that perhaps at one time that she was private about, because she was private. I would say that she was overall private. And in the last like maybe what 5-6 years, she like blossomed into this very bold type of a new Janet, if you will, right? This was a Janet that we haven't seen early on, right, when she first started out. Even in her appearance, everything was very, you know, closed. Like she wasn't very revealing. But now in the past couple of years, we have seen her, you know, with her sexuality and being very, you know, very bold, more confident. I felt that maybe perhaps in the past, you know, she might have been, you know, not as confident about herself, but it just shows you how she's matured and have become into her own, right? And with that being said, it kind of taps into why she is opening up and kind of sharing certain parts of her life, okay? And that's what I feel. Now let's go over to the next card that came out. We have here the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is an energy having one foot up, one foot down. It's like being unsure. And I feel that somehow, you know, she might have maybe for a brief second, might have had a moment where if she wanted to do another one, but overall, again, I think she's reflecting back on the feedback, the reception that she got from her last documentary. And so basically, now she did make the decision to go ahead and start to, you know, begin the next documentary on her life. And then to clarify that, we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is support. Support from her fans. More importantly, is support from her fans. I think her fans really give her the strength, gives her the motivation and the passion that drives her. Because when you think about it, if it wasn't for your fans, how far would you really get? Your fans is the one that keeps you going. The fans is the one that buys your tickets to those concerts. It's the fans that you look out to when you are performing. So the fans really play a major or have a major impact on these artists' lives because that's who makes them, so to speak. They can't do it without themselves, right? You got to have an audience. So with Janet, we know that it is overflowing. She has plenty fans. And so with that being said, this to me speaks about the support that she will continue to have from her fans, and that is why she have made the decision to go ahead and do another documentary because of her fans, the support and the love that she got from her fans. Now the next card that came out, another major arcana, the Justice card here, and this just speaks about the fact that she feels right about it, right? But also she's speaking truth. So it's kind of going back to that the first card, the other major arcana, the Moon. So it's kind of tapping into the Justice where it's like she's speaking truth, right? So she's pouring out, being very honest, being very truthful about certain dynamics, certain things in her life, if she will, right? Because she trusts her audience. She trusts that whatever that she is, going to reveal, that somehow she feels that her fans will appreciate her being her authentic self. Because Taurus people, they are authentic, right? They don't try to be someone else. They are unique in their own way. And I know because I'm a Taurus, and I don't try to follow in other people's, steps. I have my own unique way in which I do things. So Janet as well, I feel that, she is being her authentic self, and she wants to speak her truth. All right? And then to clarify that, we have the Queen of Wands. Again, speaking about that passion and what drives her and give her that passion, again, goes back to her fans. So because I keep mentioning fans, that's just like a message just now that shows you how much her fans love her. That her fans is one of the most important group of people in her life is her fans. And like I said, that's what makes or breaks an artist, depending on the fan base, right? And she is received well, not only here in the U.S., but internationally, she has fans. So again, with her being the Queen of Wands, that just points to the fact that she is being driven toward that passion, all right? And then as we close out for this particular area, we come here to the Seven of Pentacles. Now, to me, the Seven of Pentacles can relate to this new documentary that she is working on because it's about planting seeds, but it's like, building, and working on something, right? It's going to take a second, but eventually the seeds will sprout from what you have put in. It's going to sprout, and it's going to, it's going to yield results, but positive results. But then the other aspect I feel is that the Seven of Pentacles, it also just makes me feel that she have other things that is going on. So it's just not just this documentary, but it's like other projects, other things that she is a part of that is keeping her, kind of as well, taking up her time as well. So she's focused on the documentary, but then there are, like I said, I see other things that she is working on. And now to clarify the Seven of Pentacles, we have here the Ace of Cups with the King of Pentacles. So the Ace of Cups just close out by just kind of, again, highlighting that this will be something that she will do in terms of this documentary, because the Ace of Cups is a start of something, but cups represents a passion, not really a passion, I'm sorry. It represents, yes, passion is part of it, but it's something you love. The Ace of Cups is something that you truly love, that you're going after. And then with the King of Pentacles, it just shows you the success. It's going to be successful. The King of Pentacles is one of the most successful cards when it comes to finances. But overall, generalizing, it's a very successful position. It's the energy of the King of Pentacles, and to me, it just represents her success behind the next documentary that she's going to be coming out with soon. All right? So that is what I got there. And so now that ends that. So I hope I addressed your question there, Lakia, pertaining to her, whether she will be coming out with a new documentary. And the answer is more than likely yes. All right. Now, to move on to your next question, you wanted to also know, where is it? I have it here. I have it marked in sections. Now, your next question is, will Janet consider doing movies or podcasts in the future? Okay, so you wanted to know. So to me, that is kind of taking what we just left off about her documentary, because the documentary is going to kind of spill over into podcasting. And I'm going to tell you why. So I kind of gave you a little heads up just now, gave you a little hint that in fact I think that she will. Now, the card that came out behind that was the Four of Swords. So to me, swords represents communication. But the thing about it is, and you might find this a little weird, but as an intuitive and just how I'm flowing with what it is that I'm trying to tap into, as we turn this to the side, and I don't know if you can really see it, it's like her looking, pointing to the microphone. That's what I feel, and I have to go with what I feel. So interesting enough, the first thing that I picked up when I saw this was podcast, being in front of a microphone, speaking, communicating. And so that's exactly what I feel. I feel between the movie and the podcast, I see the podcast more so strongly than the movie. Not to say that she won't, that might be a little bit later on. But right now, I feel that the documentary will actually kind of be a part of the podcast, that she will probably do. Who knows, she might have done it, or she's working on that as well. I think the two will kind of connect together, if that makes sense, right? Now, to clarify that, the Four of Swords, we have here the Ten of Cups, along with the Three of Wands. So the Ten of Cups is, generally it's like a family card kind of energy, but to me it just could be connections with anyone that is close to you, that you love, right? That you feel that you have a close connection to. So it doesn't have to necessarily be family, it could be friends, but particularly that it is here, this could be like a collaboration with somebody in her family, because being that it is a family card, then that means that there is something there that she might be doing with a family member, perhaps pertaining to the podcast. Doesn't have to be, but if it's not, it could just be her collaborating with someone that she wants to be a part of that podcast type of project. And then next to it, we have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is just kind of looking ahead, toward the future, looking toward new beginnings, looking toward things that at this time that she does have a passion for. And then as we close out on that, we have the Seven of Cups, along with the Queen of Pentacles. So by the way, I didn't mention it. So when the Pentacles came out, that was of course pertaining to Janet's energy, as she is an earth sign, and Pentacles represents the earth element. And then we have here the Queen of Pentacles again. So to me, this just represents that overall, Janet has lots of options. Whether or not she has started on this podcast, or is something that she will be thinking about if she haven't started, and I feel that she will, because the Queen of Pentacles is, again, achievement. It's success, just like the King of Pentacles. It's overall success, it's an opportunity of really just being on top of your game and just really, doing your thing, right? And that's what I think she is doing at this time, that she is doing her thing, and she's just happy with the things that she has been a part of. And so that's what I see. All right, Lakia, so I hope I addressed that question there. And now as we close out your last question, your other question was pertaining to her friendship with Kim Fields. She said you wanted to know, is her and Kim Fields' friendship, do she consider Kim as her best friend? Because you always felt that they were close, right? Now, for those that don't know, Kim Fields, of course, is another actress. She was better known for her role as Trudy on The Facts of Life. And of course, Kim as well has been someone that has done very well in her career as she came off that show, the TV show Facts of Life. She was also in other TV shows, okay? But it was understood that, or stated that her and Janet was very close, or that they did have a good friendship. And so to address that, you wanted to know if she considered Kim Fields as a best friend. And based upon the cards that have come out, and even before I pulled the cards on this, Lakia, I felt that, for me, I felt that, one second, I felt that they are dear friends, okay? And a dear friend is not per se a close friend or a best friend. They just are very endearing, right? But it also could just be that they are connected and that they, from time to time, have what you would say an average friendship. But I won't say that she's her best friend at this time. I feel that when they were young, because remember, Tootie on The Facts of Life, and whatever other, and I think she made 2 appearances as well on Good Times, where Janet as Penny was also in. I think Trudy Kim was as well on Good Times. She made a few appearances, guest appearances. But I feel that because of that, when they were younger, into their teenage years, I feel that their friendship was more tighter. The bond between them was more closer and more stronger. And like anything else, as you get older and you guys, have your own careers, because believe it or not, Kim Fields had her own career, and we know Janet, she exploded into this big pop icon. So with that being said, there was a disconnection. And over time, unfortunately, when friendships start out very strong, but then it's like, you go into separate directions, things can happen where you fall out of contact. You just don't connect with them as you used to. And this is what I think is the reason behind the fact why I feel they are not per se best friends, because a best friend is what? Like your, what's the expression? That's your, I think you know what I'm coming from. That's someone that is with you like almost around the clock, so to speak. That best friend, And I don't think that that is the case with her and Kim. I feel that they have, like I said, overall, they are very good dear friends, but not her best friend. So let's get into the cards. So we have here the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords, generally, if you see it in a reading, it's anxiety, it's stress, it's headache, sleepless nights. Now, I won't say that this is what has transpired where Kim or Janet, was doing or felt. This is, I'm going to put the lighter aspect of the Nine of Swords here. To me, this simply just means disappointment. Okay? Just disappointment. Disappointment that they have been out of touch. Because overall, I think that Janet, she have a very good, sweet personality, and she gets along with everyone. And I think that a part of her, whoever she has made close friends with at one point, and then they have fallen off, so to speak, I think it may have bothered her. Because, for me, for a moment, I get that at times. People that I was close to, and then all of a sudden we out of contact, I might feel a certain way, feel bad, like, wow, I haven't spoke to so-and-so for how many years, how many months, and you might feel a certain way. And that's what I think about Janet. I think that she may have felt a certain way about not having been in touch steadily or regularly as she may have wanted to, pertaining to her. Now, to clarify that, we have here the Knight of Wands along with the Four of Cups. So the Knight of Wands, to me, speaks about what was once a passion or love that they had. Not so much a love, but a passion in terms of the bond. The strength of their relationship in the past was strong. And then with the Four of Cups, it's like, again, once having a very close, loving type of friendship, but again, with them venturing off into separate directions, with their careers, with Janet popping off the way she did, it definitely put a I just lost my thought. It put a damper. It interfered with their relationship. All right? And we have here the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is like being left out, right? Spin it however you want to. You know, this can be, interpreted in many different ways. But for me, I feel that between them, they was just being, like I said, divided into their own thing. You know, being left out, feeling left out, being disconnected overall. This is what the Five of Pentacles means for me at this time pertaining to their friendship. A disconnection, right? Where they felt left out or just not being together in terms of that friendship that they once shared in the past. And then we have here again the Nine of Swords. Now, while I was shuffling, it dropped on the floor. So Spirit was like kind of giving me a hint that somehow this wanted to come out again. So the fact that it came out again, because remember we had it here. So with the Nine of Swords showing up twice, to me that just means a huge disappointment. There is maybe some regret, some type of feeling bad that the friendship didn't really continue on as it was at one time before. All right, so that's what I feel. And then as we close out, we have here the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, it's like a connection that was once perhaps, or communication that was once had in the past, but it could be like a reconnection. And I do believe recently, maybe a couple of months ago or a year ago, somehow I feel after the pandemic that they might have reconnected and caught up and got to really reconnect again and see each other. That's what I feel, right? And then to clarify that, we have here the Devil along with the Hierophant. And this is Janet's energy right here. In actuality, to be honest with you guys, just as a sidebar, I just wanted to see what was Kim Field's zodiac sign. And she is as well a Taurus, an earth sign. So this could be either one of their energies of the Hierophant, right? Because they both represent Taurus. The Hierophant is the Taurus energy. But I'm feeling more that this is Janet that feels a certain way about having been out of touch with Kim, because if you really look at it, it's that Janet between the two who have had more of a major career in terms of the popularity. We think about Janet. She's the pop icon. Not taking anything away from Kim, because again, like I said, she has made her mark and she has done well for herself as well. But when you are looking at Janet, she is a force within herself, right? And it's like with her having been in the entertainment industry, with her movies, anything else that Janet has been in, it has also put a very major busy schedule on her. So her life has been very busy, always on the go, but heavy schedules, taking her back and forth, in and out of the country, traveling, being on the road when she's touring. You know what I mean? So with that being said, with that kind of hectic schedule, it can happen that she can be out of touch with her friends and those closest to her, right? It may be moments that even with some of her family, she might not get to really catch up with them until she comes home to visit and spend time with them. Maybe during the holidays is when she is able to reconnect with friends and family, right? So that's what I got, Lakia. I hope I addressed your question there pertaining to their friendship. So again, if she considers Kim her best friend, no. But they are still friends. But, not in the way that you might have thought. And not like how it was between them in the past. All right? So this is the end of the reading for Janet. And I know, Lakia, you as well also requested me to do a reading for her sister, Reby Jackson. So as I mentioned that I was going to do 2 separate videos. So this ends with Janet. If you liked it, hit that thumbs button to give me a like. Drop your comment to let me know what you think behind the reading for Janet. And then I will be back shortly to now go prepare for the reading for Reby Jackson. All right? So stay tuned for her video is next. See you in a bit.